Like I said, it's just a fraction of the size. Okay, yeah, I made the motion, is there a second to the discussion?
I second, Mr. President.
Thank you. Do we have a roll call on that, please?
Mrs. Bottomoli? Yes. Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Hara? Yes. Mr. Lance?
Yes.
Mr. Biragad?
Yes. Mr. Kraft, can you explain what we came up with?
Yeah, let me first say, I brought 50 copies. If people are here as couples, take one please and try to make them go as far as they can. So what you have is, I'm handing out the ordinance itself here. That's the text. I'll go into that in a minute. This second plan that you see is a map with the overlay zone and the parcels. That's to give you an idea of which parcels this would affect. This is for visual references only. The map that you see in the back of the ordinance would be one that would become the official overlay zone map, should this be adopted. And it will be adjusted to reflect, have the North Barrow scale, legend, source, date. That would be the official overlay zone map that would accompany the ordinance. So in here is generally how it lays out. But since I was here last time, I executed the changes that I described previously. So those changes are now black and part of the text. On page 2, you can see the scope of the existing changes that Council President and I made since that time. And they're very simple, although they do drastically change things quite a bit. As it says there, what we've done essentially is we've created a new overlay zone district, and it's described here how it's generally bound in 3 sides by the electric utility rights-of-way on the west, north, and east. And we held a 500-foot setback from Iron Mine Hill Road to the south before Iron Mine kind of trails off south and east even further. So at its closest point, it would be 500 feet. The other thing we did is we redefined what would happen in the event parcels cross the boundary. If you remember last time, we said that if a parcel overlaps the boundary, the entire parcel will be considered. That's not the case, at least anymore. What John's proposing is that only the portion that falls inside the solid white line, which is the boundary, would be eligible for the overlay. Furthermore, there's a 100-foot setback that we're applying to the entire overlay. So in fact, there would be a minimum 100 linear feet of the mature forest that's retained with respect to the power line rights of way, if you will, around those 3 sides. And I added the following maps and lots as they are, of course, affected by the change. So in summary, the district has become much smaller from what it was potentially. We felt that with the substation being proposed, it needed to be 1.5 miles from the 2 is perhaps not as important. That's our assumption. I don't know if this committee can confirm whether or not that's okay, but with the substation being proposed, we were able to really shrink the size of it and limit the potential of the project. And I will say that the other thing that is the same, of course, is that any amendment to the right-of-way, to the overlay zone district would have to go through this whole process again. It would be effectively had to have your 3-week advertising, public hearing. So any change to this would require the same approval process we went through tonight. So that's all I have. Any questions?
Councilman Lewis, you have a question?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President, for clarifying this lot. Tom, you may have mentioned this, but if there is a lot that falls in this proposed zone, and if the zoning overlay ordinance line cuts through that lot, it's only the portion of the lot that falls within the zone, is that correct?
Right.
Thank you.
Anybody else have a question? Second time.
John, do you have Tom questions about what he just had?
Yeah, just ask anybody.
Oh, I didn't know.
Okay, hold on one second. We did that trend test? Good. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Mr. Clifton, do you have a question?
Tom, how many, on the map that was on the town website,
Want to come up to the mic?
Yeah. I won't count this one every time.
No, you won't, I know. I won't let you. On the map that was on the town website, it identified certain parcels that were targeted for actual use in this overlay zone. We've never heard how many acres were in the overlay zone as a whole overlay zone. We were able to calculate those lots that were identified on the map as potentially being used in the Woodbury Hill area as about 400 acres of lots. This overlay zone, is it now more than 400 acres, or is it less than 400 acres? Or how big is it? How many acres are in the overlay zone? Because all of the lots, I'm assuming, that were on the map that's on the town website that show what was proposed to be used are still in this new overlay zone? So, I don't understand. Yeah, sure.
I actually did not calculate the area of either zone, previously proposed or this one, but I could easily do that in GIS though, but yeah, I didn't do it with this one. What was the second question?
Well, the map on the town website shows the lots that are intended to be used within the overlay zone for this particular project on Woodbury Hill. It involves 400 acres plus of land for those lots that you identified. This is still more than 400 acres, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It looks to me like it has those lots plus.
That could be, but I didn't calculate it.
So this doesn't diminish the size of the proposed solar overlay. It could still be up to 400 acres solar overlay.
Well, no, technically, if you're talking about the project itself, if it comes forward, would be similar in terms of the size of this. But the overlay as previously proposed, with the two radii that went around the two power stations, was much larger. If you remember, from all the way to Town Hill Road, and potentially included parts of this. All that's off the table.
We're talking apples and oranges. I'm asking, the proposed solar overlay, the proposed solar project that the developers were proposing was going to involve the use of 400 acres of land, according to the lots that you designated. So within this new district, there are still those lots that equal to or are greater than 400 acres. So it doesn't in any way diminish the size of this solar array that could still be up to 400 acres.
That's right. The array has to be seen as in the power plant, right? So that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah, that would still fit within this zone.
Yeah. And it's been bantered about that the solar array was going to be 200 acres, and then some people made comments that it was going to be 300 and 400 acres. What do we know what's currently being proposed? Yeah, still it could be 400 acres or it could be 200 acres. They've given no definition.
Well, green development is going to get up, you can ask them that question on it.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if that's still,
The scope of the project has not changed just because we changed the overlay.
And just to point out, was this in your packets that we got for the meeting, for the council people?
Yes, it was.
The packets of could this have been posted on the town website for the residents to see and stuff?
We make amendments to ordinances all the time, Mike. I made an amendment to our ordinance. Yeah.
Michael Radko, 25 Old River Road. The map, the new zone is 400 acres, because I calculated the old zone, and I can see as you swap out lots, you're still going to be 400 acres. So you're still in the range. But I'd like to qualify that we're going to have an issue tonight and it happened in Exeter. When the developer went with an overlay area, they didn't call it a zone, they called it an overlay, 6 miles from substations. They did the same thing, they drew a map with circles. They went to the council, and the council said, you just changed the district completely. The public advertisement was an overlay based upon circles, and now you want to go into specific lots. So that was approached in Exeter, and the council in Exeter said, you have to go back and re-advertise with this new zone, this new area that you're showing, that it's not circles anymore from the substation, it's specific lots.
Okay, I did not just come up with this willy-nilly. I talked to the solicitor and the planner about it. I'm going to go with their recommendation and what their advice, and they said that this was not considered a spot zoning, this is all well within.
No, I'm not complaining about spot zoning. What I'm saying is the public were advertised, we've been coming to these meetings with these overlay circles, with the assumption that it's going to be overlapping circles, and we were going to focus on which areas of the circle didn't look right. But to change the application now and saying we're getting away from the circles, we're going into specific lots. The same thing happened in Exeter, and their solicitor and town council said, you're bypassing the advertisement. The advertisement didn't say you're focused on an area based upon lots, which is completely different than overlapping circles. And I agree with Exeter.
Okay.
I think we're reaching a legal issue. Is this completely different than the advertisement that we've been following for the last month? That's what I think. I don't know, is it a legal issue or not?
I'm going to discuss it. I'm going to take the advice of the solicitor on this one. Okay?
Can you give it?
But there's a solicitor.
No, you're not addressing the solicitor
No, no,
directly.
no.
I've discussed this with the solicitor, and we're well within, we're fine doing the way we did it. Well, I shrunk the size of the overlay district like everybody wanted, and you still find it qualified. Really? Do you have anything else?
Just for the record, for Exeter, they followed their solicitor, and it was go back and re-advertise and come up with this map. And that's the way we should do
Exeter
it.
solicitor's not on our payroll. Okay, so, yes. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President. John Mancini on behalf of Green Development, the applicant this evening. A few comments. Obviously, this is the first time we've seen the ordinance, so we're still going through it. The overlay district, as you define it, you have every right to define the ordinance, however, in whichever way you want to. It's in your prerogative to do that. You can amend the ordinance in any which way that you feel appropriate. You can place a condition on it, similar to what you would do on a zone change. This is not a zone change. We've not petitioned the zone change. This is very, very different from what was taking place in Exeter. You've said that continuously now at both the planning board and the ordinance committee, the town council previously. So what you're doing is comports with 45-24-53, because you have the opportunity to amend your ordinance. So you're well within your ability, prerogative, and legal guidelines to do so. So we don't have an issue with that. With regards to the size and scope, and I think, and I continue to hear this consistently, and I think it's very important to note, there is no project being proposed this evening. There has been no project proposed. What we are proposing is a process and a procedure. We're defining that process and that procedure, which has changed from your existing ordinance to permit and provide for a process that brings us to the town council for two things. One is for economic development, and secondly, for the ability to put in place a decommissioning bond to give the council the opportunity to do that. I have Michelle Copman from Green Development. She has put together a PowerPoint presentation to essentially summarize the key points of the last 6 meetings. Remember, we've met 3 times with the planning board, we've met 3 times with the town council. It's been significantly advertised now for over 2 months. It's met all the requirements, as I noted earlier, of 45-24-53. We followed a very distinct process that is both outlined by a state statute and it's outlined by your ordinances. We've not deviated from that. So if the council is interested in...
Before you begin your slide presentation.
Well, I don't want to. I want to ask you if you want us.
Well, I have to, I'd like to take a vote on the proposed amendment to the ordinance.
So the only question I have with the proposed amendment And I think one of the council members brought it up earlier, and I just want to clarify. So if the property or a portion of property falls outside of the outlines, does that mean that it's not part of the overlay district? Because it reads that if any portion of a lot overlaps into an overlay zone, only that portion within the overlay zone is eligible for solar array. So does that mean the actual panels, or does that mean the development itself? So it's a bit confusing, and that's kind of where.
Well, the rules of the overlay district would apply only to that section of the property that is in the overlay district.
All right, so only the panels, so panels can only be implemented within the overlay district, but the lot itself would still be considered part of the overlay district. They just couldn't house any panels or couldn't house any equipment. It would have to stay in a vegetative state. Correct. If it's a. Okay, correct. All right. Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions regarding the amendment to the ordinance? Everybody understand? Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the amendment as how would you word that, Mr. Yoder? Accept the amendment as presented.
Second also.
Roll call.
Mrs. Bottomoli? Yes. Mr. McGee?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Yes. Now, before I open up the public hearing, or reopen the public hearing, I should say, is there anybody on the council that would like to see the presentation by Green Development? Anybody have any statement against it? Does this new ordinance change your presentation?
No, it does not.
Why don't we just leave you guys and, because we do have a full agenda, we have a lot of people that want to speak, so why don't we do this?
That's fine. You know, give us an opportunity to also digest the new ordinance too.
Okay, and we'll leave you available to answer any questions that people might have.
Yeah, we also brought a biologist with us this evening too, so if there's any questions.
I'll already schedule.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. So I will now entertain a motion to reopen the public hearing.
So moved, Mr. President.
Second, roll call.
Mrs. Bottomoli? Yes. Mr. McGee? Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Yes. Mr.
Yes. Okay, before I call the first person up, I just want to go over a couple of quick rules with everybody. There's a lot of people on the list. All right, you will have a 3-minute limit. You have 3 minutes. The past 2 meetings, we let people speak without a timer. We have a lot of people. So this time, we're going to limit everybody to 3 minutes. Please do not come up and just to reiterate what you have already said in previous meetings. Okay, this is the most important one. Any attempt to make any unfounded accusations against anyone sitting up here will not be tolerated. Okay? If you have something, if you want to say something that's accuse anybody of doing something nefarious, you better have some really good proof, because as soon as it comes out, if you don't have some, I'm talking proof that would hold up in a court of law, I'm going to have you sit down immediately, and you're not going to be able to finish the rest of your time up on the podium. There will be no sharing minutes. You cannot sign up to talk and give your minutes to somebody else. Okay? So it's just 3 minutes for everybody. And we're going to get through this, and I'd like to hear from what everybody has to say. I'll now entertain a motion to reopen the public hearing.
So moved, Mr. President.
Second?
Oh, God. I already did that.
That's
Okay,
double
let's
check.
call first Mr. Lentz, Scott Lentz.
Good evening, I'm Scott Lentz from 474 Buxton Street. And tonight I'm here as a planning board member, so I'm wearing my planning board hat. I'm not going to talk about
Mr.
my...
Lentz, I think I got to stop you.
Sorry about that.
How many members of the planning board are there?
I was just about to say that. We have 2 others that we opened our meeting concurrently.
Okay, do you have to do that publicly, or you already did it?
I was just, well, since you didn't call on us first, we opened it as a person.
So why don't you just do it for us in public, and put it on the record?
For the record then, I'm going to open a meeting of the planning board at